Hey guys, Tbull. Today we got a game in the Tier 7 Pan American Brazilian battleship, Atlantico. There's Fernandez. Secondary build. You need a secondary build on the ship. Alright. Now, a lot of you guys kind of give me grief. You don't think I know how to pronounce the ship names. Little secret I'm going to let you in on now. I always check with native speakers of the language. That's one of the advantages I got having the following I do. I got people from all over the world that I got access to. Now, I got a guy named Puds that follows this channel, and he swears up and down Atlantico is the way to say the name of the ship. So, disregard anything else you've ever heard. Native Brazilian speaker, Portuguese, verified, stamped, and endorsed. So, that's the end of that debate. What's going on with the build? Well, the ship has these really, you can see those secondaries on the side of the ship. Big caliber guns, and they can actually do a lot of meaty damage to anything that it hits. All right, so they're very dangerous in that regard. But secondary builds, and we're talking generally in these battleships here, you need to be able to lean all the way in on them, and a big part of that is the commander itself. So when the ship first came out, we got it with the Dewey de Janeiro, the generic, and just wasn't cutting it. So I was like, all right, the ship is pretty decent, but I'm not going to play it until we get a real commander for it. To Gaming's credit, it didn't take them long to get this one in here. Now, I don't know how you get this commander. I think it was part of a series of missions. Otherwise, it's probably generally available at random through the weekly commander crates. But it does make a big difference. All right, so that said, I don't know if the ship's even available at the moment or what. But if it is, I would try and make sure you get the commander to go along with it. All right, so here we are, Tears of the Desert. We're on the A side, domination mode game. This game is going to have kind of a toilet bowl feel to it. What does that mean? Well, people are spinning around in clockwise manners. In this case, the red team's all going to C. Most of our guys are abandoning that flank. Why? Because they can, and they're coming over here. So you used to see this early on for the first year to 2 years of the game. There's still a map called Haven, but it used to be arrayed differently in terms of the spawns. And for some reason, every single game, the players would go in a circular manner. So the strategy, if that ever happens, is to kind of plug up where they're going, right? If everyone on their team's going one way, well, if you can set up some sort of crossfire in that position, you can score bigly. But that's not quite what's going on in this flank yet. These guys over here are playing it. Kansas was thinking about pushing into A, and here I am. I split up with the other battleship that spawned by me. He went more towards the north of that big island that's right to the right of the screen there, which is kind of the traditional entry point. And seeing where he was going, I wanted to come down here and split up. We got about a square and a half distance between us now that allows for crossfires to more naturally occur. And crossfires, of course, shooting into the sides of the ships. That's how we get the big damage. All right, so if you're still learning the game, you want to shoot the ships in the side. The Kansas right there is pointing away from me. We call it angled. Yeah, we can get some damage, sure. I adjusted the shot by aiming up, shooting the superstructure more lightly armored to compensate. Had I hit him in the hull, those shots would have all bounced off, done 0 damage. But in general, if I can catch him in the side, then we should expect more damage. So trying to find opportunities playing off of our team and their position, making sure we can increase the distance between us and the teammates, we're going to naturally get more opportunities. Either the guy on our team who we're playing off of is going to get the shot, or we're going to get the shot. But either way, we should expect that to translate into more damage for the team, more ships sunk on the red team, more wins in the pocket. All right, so that's kind of the main idea there. Kansas, we've chased him off. He was getting splattered with these secondaries. By the way, we're shooting him. The other guys on the team shooting him. He's like, I'm getting out of here. I've been waiting for this Wichita to come around here. Of course, he's got the radar, and we want to get the radar cruisers off. We got a 3-destroyer game. One of them's already dead. So we want to get those valuable radars off the board to allow our destroyers to work. You can see our destroyer, rightly or wrongly, is sailing off into Timbuktu. He's probably afraid of the radar. Who can blame him? Radars are dangerous. All right, so I'm going to actually move into A here and try and speed this along. If the Wichita pulls forward, I'll blast him. If not, I'm going to, again, try and find different shots. You know, again, most of my team's kind of to the north, northwest of me, and they're all basically shooting directly into this guy's nose. Well, if I can come down here, maybe to the left, then if this guy keeps backing up, the Wichita, I can blast him inside. Once again, what I'm trying to do. Oh, hey, here's a Vlad. Now take a look. Here's an interesting example of this kind of optical illusion. Oh, God, we got some deep water torps. All right, so we got Chung Mu or something like that over here. We got to keep an eye out for him. Zen Yang, there he is. That's a dangerous shot. Luckily, we didn't get sunk there. Very easily could have. Going to try and return the fire here. But look at the map, and then look at when we zoom in on this Vlad, what it looks like. Because when you zoom in on the Vlad, it looks like he's kind of angled, but kind of broadside, mostly broadside. But then when you look on the map, he's the guy to the southwest, or southeast of D, rather, their home cap. He's pointing not directly at me, but almost directly. And it's kind of an optical illusion due to the length of his ship. And that'll become important when trying to decide should we shoot him or not. Because if we can hit him in the side, yes, we want to shoot him. Like right there. That looks like a pretty decent shot, but if you look on the map, it doesn't really look that good. So I always try and, if the situation permits, try and check visually, yes, but then try and confirm, especially in those battleships, to see what they actually look like, because you might get to see from time to time. So we kind of scared the Zen Yang off there, getting the secondaries downrange on the Vlad, trying to just get this secondary damage going. The passive damage, we want to be hitting them with the main guns, yes, but the secondaries in between shots. Oh, look at this, the Saipan, Flyboy, you know, the aviator over here. Now he's made a mistake. Checking on the map here, the carrier, you want to be, lest I give tips to carrier players, I guess I will here. You always want to keep your carrier behind the bulk of your force, right? You want, view it kind of like an offensive line in football, where if you're the quarterback and, you know, you're not away from the offensive line, everyone on the defense is going to rush you and tackle you, right? Same thing here. If you're just kind of sitting there not paying attention, launching your planes, launching the planes, trying to ruin people's days. Well, if you're not paying attention, and then all of a sudden you start getting spotted, boom, you're going to get wasted and wrecked. So I don't generally advocate trying to like go deep into the enemy spawn to hunt the carrier down. That's generally a waste of time. Situationally, it can be the right play in certain cases, but here we got the shot. We don't have to move where we are, right? We're in the center of the board, which is where I want to be. We're having a problem with the caps, yes, but we can take our time dealing with that because we're sinking a lot of ships. And if we can get this flyboy off the board here, that's going to limit their spotting. Sure, they still got 3 DDs, but it's going to limit their ability to just murder anyone that they want randomly, which is, of course, is what the carriers bring to the game. Thanks, Bill. All right, so he's dead. Spotted. Who's spotting us? Well, we're getting spotted due to the smoke fire penalty, which as a battleship, when I fire the guns, my detection goes basically to the max, even through smoke like that. So whatever that destroyer was will spot me. Now that I pulled forward, I think it's probably the Friesland. Well, now we actually blocked the line of sight, even though that smoke fire penalty is there because the big island's in between. So that's the play there. Pull forward here. Go ahead and let the heel work. Let's see what the Zeton wants to do. We got the guys moving into D there, their home cap. But here we're going to see some more of that circular toilet bowl thing, right? Like we're moving counterclockwise, you know, cap to cap to cap. We're putting all these battleships behind these big islands, so kind of questionable movement with the team here. But they are getting the bases. The problem is they're going to put a destroyer on A here very quickly. Now we have the cruiser way up there. I guess we'd have to roll back the tape to figure out what's going on. It's a Hipper. Hipper's very dangerous for destroyer, so I'm hoping he just guns it, but here he comes, Z23, so I'm like, alright, I got a shot at this. I got the secondaries. We're going to pop the secondary booster, boost the accuracy, and he immediately recognizes, okay, I'm in danger. This guy's going to kill me very quickly. Pop the smoke. Look at that one shot there, a quarter of his health. Get the main guns on, blast away. We're at 112 there, 114, so another 2k there. It's probably just about 60% health or whatever, so decent strike. If the Hipper moves in with some vigor, activates that sonar, he can just absolutely be nightmare fuel for that destroyer. So I'm going to let him handle that there. Hopefully he can handle it. The guys on D still trying to capture the base, but now they're down to the destroyers, right? So we're going to be kind of moving slowly here. We've been spotted periodically. We should be expecting, you know, we're kind of the centrally located, the most easily accessible battleship for these guys. We should be expecting some torps, and good play by our carrier, inadvertently or not. He actually spots those torpedoes. And if he doesn't spot those, you know, by flying over them, we get early warning. Those are deep water torps, very hard to detect, but the plane picks them right out. If he doesn't spot those, frankly, they probably kill us. So we might not even be watching this footage because the game would end fairly early here. But good job there. We recognized the torps early, got on him. Friesland, he's getting out of the smoke. Not a lot he can do. He's going to try and boost the score. That's a fair play at this point in time because he's definitely going to die. He would have had to get out of my range. Visual range, but would have been difficult because as we turn, these secondaries are going off. You can see they're going to start chewing them up big time. Oof. Big time damage from these things. So Atlantico you want to be very wary of as a destroyer player. Stay the heck away from him. We get him with the secondaries there, and he doesn't really do much damage in return. Now, the game's pretty close at this point in time. In terms of score, caps, all that, in terms of ships, no. Now the problem we got here is the enemy destroyer. He's playing selfishly, Xin Yang, and I don't think he's ever going to be seen again. So I actually just plot my ship down here, drop the anchor, capture the base, and say to myself, okay, if I get spotted, I'll try and determine where that is. We'll see if we can finish him off. But I think he just ran away to preserve his immaculate kill-death ratio, which obviously far less important than wins or losses. Not that he's going to win or lose this game, but generally he's wasting about 5 minutes of our time, or however long it takes to tick up to 1,000 points. So we'll cut it there. That's it for the Atlantico. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.